Good Friday evening, YouTube. Your host, Flywheels, here with another affordable group break. Friday night. Time to bust some old wax and have a good time. Hope everybody had a great week and is ready for the weekend. Good evening, Johnny. Hey, good evening, Rick. This old cellophane off. I love Pacific. If I could bring one brand back, it would be Pacific. Sorry, empty box. Hey, we got John and Ben here. Good evening, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into this. Sorry, I had a rogue kitty in the room. All right. 1994 Pacific football is up on the docket tonight. Appreciate you guys for helping fill out the break. I just wanted to break it up and do something a little bit different than what we normally do here, with some older football. I have not opened any of this, but I am very familiar, of course, with especially 90s era Pacific products. And it looks like we'll be chasing Knights of the Gridiron, Crown Collection Crystalline, and Gems of the Crown. And it looks like these are overall 1 in 7 packs. And I think we got 36 packs to make our way through. So 12 cards a pack. So without further ado, we will get started here. All right, so here is the base card if you're not familiar with these. And they made a big deal on the box and on the pack that the player's name is in gold foil on every card because Wasn't quite the normal staple that it is now at the time. This is George Jameson for the Lions. Got you another photo on the back and 1993 stats, and one line of text across the bottom. Got Phil Simms for the Giants, Sam Mills for the Saints, Kevin Turner, Pats, Marv Cook for the Pats, Derek Thomas for Chiefs, Dwayne Bickett, Colts. Have an Eric Rhett. I believe he was drafted by the Tampa Bay. Willie Anderson for the Rams. Jeff Hostetler for the Raiders. Pete Stoyanovich, Miami, and Rodney Hampton for the Giants. Sorry for the on-fly adjusting here, but Corey Kroom, Pats. Ken Harvey, Cardinals. Herschel Walker, Eagles. Jeff Langham, Jets. Terrence Mathis, Jets. Aaron Pierce, the Giants. Vaughn Dunbar, Saints. Pat Harlow, Pats. Randall McDaniel, Vikings. Ronnie Harmon, Chargers. Jeff Graham, Steelers. And Steve Berline, Cardinals. So, how has your team fared in week one of the 2023 NFL season? Caught a few of the games, but not everything. Darren Carrington, Chargers. Daryl Johnston, Moose, Cowboys. Tommy Vardell, Browns. Jerry Ball, Browns. John Copeland, Bengals. Mark Carrier, Bears. Steve Christie, Bills. Andre Rison, Falcons. Edgar Bennett, Packers. Jason Hanson, Tigers. Steve Atwater, Broncos. Michael Irvin, Cowboys. Vinny Testaverde for the Browns. And we have our first insert. This is the Gems of the Crown, Jeff Hostetler. For the Raiders, goes to Mark. Cool 90s era insert. Nice and shiny, classic Pacific style insert. You got it. Rich Milano, Eagles. Gary Brown, Oilers. Mark Clayton, Packers. Jay Schroeder, Bengals. Jim Harbaugh, Bears. Jim Kelly, Bills. Deion Sanders, Falcons. Mark Carrier, Browns. Tony Bennett, Packers. Rodney Holman, Lions. And John Elway for the Broncos, and another Moose for the Cowboys. If anybody else has DirecTV, then you're probably in the same boat as me where you're not able to watch your local Fox affiliate. So, with the Panthers being an NFC team and most of the NFC games being on Fox, I'm unable to watch my Panthers play, which really sucks because I was kind of excited about Bryce Young. But, I listened to the game last week on the radio and saw some of the highlights. I guess I'm not too sad I didn't get to watch the game with them losing to the Falcons, but I am excited that they're playing on Monday Night Football. So I will be able to watch that game since it'll be on ABC or ESPN or whatever channel. Yeah, I really hope they get this whole ordeal with Nexstar corrected. Uh, but if nothing else, I do my Braves. So still, it's hard to be full on football when your baseball team's doing good. And I'm not a big college football fan, so you know. All right. Continuing on, we have an Antonio Langham rookie, and that goes to Cleveland. Jackie Slater, big dude. The Rams, Ethan Horton, Packers. Ron Stark for the Colts. Love seeing punters get their cards and kickers. Reggie Brooks for the Redskins. Courtney Hawkins, Tampa. Speaking of kicker, John Casey for the Seahawks. Amp Lee, 49ers. Michael Haynes, Falcons. Casey Weldon, Tampa. Brian Blades, Seahawks. And Natron Means for the Chargers. University of North Carolina. Yeah, John, I watched some of that Thursday night football game, and I didn't really have a dog in the fight, but I don't really like any of Philly's teams, so it's kind of pulling for the Vikings, but I also had to get up super early this morning, so didn't stay up to the end of the game. Jeff Burris, it's a rookie. He was drafted by Buffalo. Eric Martin, Saints. Scott Sekules, maybe, the Pats. Brian Cox, Dolphins. Chester McLaughlin, the Raiders. Jonathan Hayes, Chiefs. Ricky Urbans, Redskins. Vince Workman, Tampa. Cortez Kennedy, Seahawks. Guy McIntyre, 49ers. Kent Hull, Bills. And Reggie Freeman, Saints. Insert of some type. Darrell Green, Redskins. Ron Hall, Tampa. Reggie Cobb, Tampa. Carlton Gray, Seahawks. Brent Jones, 49ers. Anthony Miller, Chargers. Rod Woodson, Packers. Or Steelers, excuse me. Chuck Cecil, Cardinals. Robert Massey, Cardinals. Sterling Palmer, Redskins. Craig Erickson, Tampa. Clarence Verdon, Colts. And for the Saints, we have a Derek Brown. And this is a Knights of the Gridiron. So shiny, gold, sparkly 90s era inserts. Hey, good evening, Mr. Johnny. Put them up there. Yeah, we'll be back to baseball next week. Willie McGinnis for, was it New England? Yep. Keith Jackson, Dolphins. Mark Jackson, Giants. Wade Wilson. Hey, how did Deadpool get in this set? Saints. Derek Brown. Saints. Vincent Brisby. Ats. Harvey Williams. Chiefs. Jeff George. Colts. William Floyd. 49ers. Shane Conlon. The script is really narrow, and with it slightly slanted, sometimes it makes it hard to read. So we have two Rams back to back, Troy Drayton and Marco Coleman for the Dolphins. Johnny says your team did amazing. That's the 49ers. Who did they play last week? Jimmy Klingler. I don't know who drafted him. He may not have been drafted. To look that one up. Ken Horton, Cowboys. Wilbur Marshall. The Oilers, Leroy Butler, Packers, Alfred Williams, Bengals, Craig Hayward, Bears, Andre Reed, Bills, David Means, Falcons, Michael Jackson, Browns, Brett Perryman, Lions, Glenn Milburn, for the Broncos, Anna J. Novacek for the Cowboys. Steelers, okay. And the other Johnny's watching the Rockies pitch a no-hitter in the eighth while losing 1-0. Ernest Biner, Gilbert, Merrill Hodge, Randall Hill, Clyde Simmons, Chris Burkett, Johnny Mitchell, Mike Shepard, Quinn Early, Drew Bledsoe, Eric Gulliford, Eric the Enemy, and oh, nice, Kevin Green. I missed most of the Braves game this evening at dinner, and then came home and I was on the phone with Ben Martin, which many of you guys know. And he is, we were talking about breaks and whatnot because he's getting close to bringing his back. Been out of the game for a while, but he's maybe 3-4 weeks away, possibly from getting his fired up again. But we hadn't talked in a while, so it was good catching up with him. Jeff Gossett, Jim McMahon, Keith Byers, Steve Smith, William Schultz, Tom Carter, Hardy Nickerson, Dan McGuire, nice Jerry Rice, Bobby Hebert, Gene Atkins, and Steve Jordan. But yeah, Ben's going to be heavy on the hockey. But we're going to do a hockey box in a couple of weeks, getting closer to the NFL season or NHL season. I do have a new box of hockey, and Even if you're not into that, you might want to join in for the live break and make fun of me, as I'm sure I'll be butchering plenty of names that night. James Jones, Bubba McDowell, Robert Brooks, Troy Vincent, Irvin Fryer, Johnny Morton, Henry Elliard, Willie Galt, Tim Barnett, Anthony Johnson, Ashley Ambrose, and Cody Carlson. See another insert. Kind of curious what this other Crown Collection crystalline look like. Clarence Verdon, Darren Perry, Ricky Prohl, Eric Allen, Boomer Esiason, Leslie O'Neill, Barry Foster, Rick Cunningham, Victor Bailey, Rob Carpenter, Larry Thomas, Chris Galloway, Toy Cook. Bernard Williams, Andre Ware, Mike Kroll, Emmett Smith, Lorenzo White, John Jukovic, Darrell Williams, Tom Waddell, Steve Tasker, Chris Miller, Brian Kinchin, Eric Kramer. Dion Lambert, Pete Metzlars. I rented a storage unit to his wife way back when. Derek Brown, Chris Slade, Scott Mitchell, Jerome Bettis, Dave Craig, Carl Banks, Mazio Royster, Paul Green, Dana Stubblefield, and hey, there's the Panthers head coach, Frank Reich, for the Bills. Jim McMahon? No, I don't think we've had a McMahon yet. Got a Dion though for you. Anthony Pryor, Daryl Thompson, Richmond Webb, Jared Bunch, David Meggett, Tyrone Hughes, Ray Crittenden, J.J. Burden, Jeff Herod, Calvin Jones, Heath Schuler, and Sean Gilbert. I think we got Andre Rison for your Dirty Birds as well. Steve Wallace, Vincent Brown, Audrey McMillan, Greg Lloyd, Chris Chandler, Seth Joyner, Mo Lewis, Rob Moore, Dave Brown, Brad Muster, Bruce Armstrong, Henry Thomas. And about halfway through the box with this pack, Scotty Graham, Carl Mecklenburg, Russell Maryland, Webster Slaughter, Reggie White, Patrick Robinson, Terry Obie, Thurman Thomas, Mike Pritchard, Mike Johnson, Rodney Peete, and Dennis Smith. Corey Sawyer, Rod Woodson, Chuck Cecil, Robert Massey, Calvin Williams, Sterling Palmer, Craig Erickson, Kelvin Martin, Eugene Robinson, Kevin Pagan, Junior Seau, and Leon Searcy. Chris Zork, Kenneth Davis, Cornelius Bennett, Darian Connor, Herman Moore, Tommy Maddox, Brock Marion, Troy Aikman, Michael Dean Perry, Dave Klingler, Curtis Conway, and Russell Copeland. Yeah, Johnny, 36 packs, 12 cards per pack, I believe. So this will be another one that'll take me a good while to get everything sorted. Just finished sorting last week's break yesterday. Glenn Foley, Vernon Turner, Kevin Smith, Eric Turner, Peter Tom Willis, John L. Williams, John Freeze, Gary Anderson, Randall Cunningham, Michael Brooks, Ed West, Ryan McNeil. And acetate. Check that out. Okay, now. Good old 90s. Oh, I love it. Does look like the clear part it's got some, you can see there, it's got some marks on it. And it looked like it may have yellowed a little bit, but that's a sharp looking card. There we go. Cleaned it up a little bit. So nice card for Ben and the Lions there. So it's 7 per pack, or 1 in 7 odds on the inserts. I don't know if we'll see anything else in tonight's box, but we'll see what happens. Bree Fleming, Chuck Levy, Hoffman, Rob Fredrickson, Torrance Small, John Grimsley, Bryce Paup, Shante Carver, Daryl Talley, Kevin Lee, James Bostic, and Britt Hager. Pacific TNA Wrestling box? Yeah, I wouldn't mind finding something like that too. One of those things I had no idea existed until the prices started to go up. Another Corey Fleming Jr. Seau, Leon Searcy, Johnny Bailey, and Anton Davis, Heath Sherman, Rich Gannon, Santana Dotson, Rick Meyer, Mark Logan, Dana Hall, Marion Butts, and we did get another insert, Alvin Harper for the Cowboys. Another Gems of the Crown. An auto of Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream would be that'd be nice. Torrance Small, Brian Washington, Ray Childress, Terrell Buckley, Derek Russell, Clay Matthews, Lance Gunn, Keith McCants, Steve Young, Gary Jones, Garrison Hurst, and a Johnny Johnson. Rob Fredrickson, Steve Wisenowski, Tim Brown, Neil Smith, Jesse Hester, Gary Wellman, George Teague, Chris Carter, Dan Marino, Marshall Falk, that's his rookie, TJ Rubley, and Alexander Wright. Dave Hoffman, Chris Mims, Deion Figures, Neil O'Donnell, Ron Moore, Mark Bavaro, Daryl Green, Ron Hall, Reggie Cobb, Carlton Gray, Brent Jones, Anthony Miller. Kittens have found their way upstairs. And it's their wing hour, so they are crazy tonight. Chuck Levy, Robert Green, Neil Anderson, Don Beebe, James Gethers, Pat Swilling, Shannon Sharp, Rodney Bernstein, Charles Haley, Todd Philcox, Ricardo McDonald, Richard Dent. Rocky scored 1-1. Still a no-hitter. Jeff Cothran, Curtis Duncan, Ray Crockett, Shane Dronette, Stephen Moore, Alonzo Spellman, Michael Bates, Tim McDonald, Ernie Mills, Bubby Brister, Leonard Marshall, Ernest Givens. Bryant Young, Anthony Smith, Joe Montana, Sean Dawkins, Warren Moon, Sterling Sharp, Anthony Carter, Terry Kirby, David Palmer, Cleveland Gary, Greg Townsend, Eddie Anderson. Britt Hager, Irv Smith, Michael Timpson, Chris Dolman, John Stevens, Roosevelt Potts, Bucky Brooks, David Lang, Nick Bell, Mark Higgs, Lewis Tillman, Ricky Jackson. James Bostic, James Joseph, Brad Baxter, Ronnie Lott, Ed McCaffrey, Morton Anderson, Greg McMurdy, Jack Del Rio, Chuck Smith, Ricky Sanders, Lawrence Dawsey, Rick Tooten, Kevin Lee, Tommy Vardell, Jerry Ball, John Copeland, Mark Carrier, Steve Christie, Andre Rison, Edgar Bennett, Jason Hanson, Steve Atwater, Michael Irvin, and Vinny Testaverde. Getting down to the end of the box. Daryl Talley, Aeneas Williams, Fred Barnett, Sean Biasuki, Ty Detmer, Brian Habib, Habib, Habib. I don't know how to pronounce it. Kevin Williams, Eric Wilhelm, Mark Wheeler, Tom Rathman, Stan Humphreys, and Gary Clark. 3 to go. Ante Carver, Leonard Russell, Roger Craig, Nick Lowry, Reggie Langhorne, Greg Hill, Todd Light, Patrick Bates, Quadri Ismail, O.J. McDuffie, Mario Bates, and Russell White. Bryce Pop, Dexter Carter, Nate Lewis, John Carney, Leroy Thompson, Eric Swan, Vaughn Hebron, Desmond Howard, Johnny Thomas, Horace Copeland, Patrick Hunter, and Steve Bono. And our final pack. John Grimsley, Harold Green, Derek Finner, Trace Armstrong, Bill Brooks, Eric Pegram, Barry Sanders, Derek Moore, Jason Elam, Alvin Harper, Anthony Pleasant, and Tim McGee. So that wraps it up. Got 2 huge stacks of base cards, lots of sorting to do. Feel like most teams had a decent representation tonight. But the hits, we have the Knights of the Gridiron. We have Derek Brown for the Saints. Pretty cool looking card. 2 of the Gems of the Crown, Alvin Harper and Jeff Hostetler. And then probably the coolest is the Barry Sanders. These were the Crown Collection Crystalline. This acetate card of Barry Sanders. So that is it, guys. That wraps us up for football. We will resume our baseball breaks next week because I'm still very much in the baseball spirit, mood, whatever. But the question is, what are we going to do next week? Because I did go on a little shopping spree, and I've got a couple of things. We've got a couple of things on hand that we can do next week. As far as baseball goes, we just got to figure out which direction. Do you want to go back and do modern era? Oh, Johnny just cussed. His Rockies may not have done well. No hitter gone. First batter in the ninth. Oh, that does suck. So next week, we will get back to baseball, as I said. Do you want to do 2000? Let me check that year. Yeah, we've got 2021 Optic box of fat packs. These have the lime green parallels that are exclusive to these. So we've got 12 packs, 12 fat packs, hanger packs, whatever you want to call them. Do you want to do Optic, or do you want to stick with 90s era? If you want to do that, we can do 98 Series 2 Bowman. So we can do old school or slowly or new school. So two votes Bowman already. This is an unofficial vote, of course, but yeah, like to give you options. You know, you could chase the elusive Travis Lee rookie. But no, there's some action. Excuse me. There's actually some decent rookies in the 98 Bowman set. I don't remember what the odds were on the autos or anything, but doesn't say on the box. 24 packs, 10 cards per box or per pack. So that is what I have on tap. I do have a box of 2023 Ginter and Allen on pre-order, already paid for. So that should ship out next week when it releases. I think it releases on the 22nd, which is next Friday. So we'll have that coming up. I know last week I said something about maybe taking a weekend or a week off, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. There's no need. And I got bills to pay. So those are your options right now. Yeah, we might do the Ginter to wrap up the month of September. So that might be the 29th. So in 2 weeks. I'm eager to rip that myself. I wanted to buy a box for myself because that's a set that I like building, but I was talking to Ben tonight, and I'm slowly moving away from set building and stuff like that. It's not as fun anymore. It's getting too difficult, too expensive, and it kind of sucks the fun out of the chase with all the short prints and stuff. But So I passed on a box of Ginter, but I'm looking forward to opening it, and I still may go after some of the build some of the insert sets because honestly, that's what I like the most about Ginter. But speaking of Joseph, yeah, he is busy packing. I talked to him this evening. He shared some pictures with me of his card collection that he's got boxed up and ready to ship, or not ship, but move, because he's going to be making the move out to North Carolina in a couple of weeks. And I actually told him I would be more than happy to drive over there because he's only going to be a couple of hours from me, and offer to help him unpack because I don't know what kind of help he's going to have with all that. So that'll be in October. That'll be about mid-month of October. So that might be a good place to take a short break. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But we got several things lined up for the next couple of weeks, and I will be passing through my little honey hole later this week. So I will check to see what they have, and if there's anything that jumps off the shelf that I think you guys would like, of course, I'll pick that up. But we're set to go. We're good to go for another couple of weeks, locked and loaded. So I appreciate everybody's support, and we will get I will get one of these two boxes here that in front of me. I will get one of those ready to go and posted Sunday evening. So just come back and be ready to claim your team. And then Monday night, when the 24-hour period is up, you can go back and claim your additional teams. I'm going to do a little sorting, maybe a little scanning this evening before I call it quits. And you guys have a fantastic weekend, whatever you have planned. And we will see you back here on the YouTube channel next Friday night. Until then, everybody take care.